If you've got lots of fruit hanging around at the moment because it's autumn here in New Zealand and you're not sure what to do with it because you've made enough pies or stewed apple for the freezer, well then this is the video for you. We're going to be making vinegar. So if you want to cook along with me, get your apples out, get your quinces ready, and let's cook along with Del for the first time ever. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can keep up to date with your vinegar process and what's happening and what it looks like. But for the next few weeks, over shorts and over long form, we're going to be making homemade vinegar, and you can do it at home. So let's get into making all of these fruits into something delicious that you can store for later in the year. Welcome to Dishes with Del. If you are new around here and that intro sounds like something you're interested in, well, you're in the right place. I've been a professional chef for the last 25 years, but now I teach home cooks how to waste less in their kitchen, cook better food, and when there's abundance of something, we're gonna make delicious stuff that you can use later in the year, and other times we're just gonna make downright delicious recipes like hot cross buns. It's just been Easter. If you want to know how to make them, because Easter isn't the only time you can eat them, you can go look at that video. But today I thought you guys can cook along with me and we are going to make homemade vinegar. It's one of the easiest ways that you can use up all the fallen fruit and make something incredible that you can use throughout the rest of the year. So without further ado, let's get into cutting up this fruit and we'll talk through some of the science, what happens and how we're gonna make it. So the first thing we need to do with that fruit is give it all a little bit of a wash so that there's no nasties on the outside and it's all good to go. Then we're just gonna chop up the apples, pop it in a jar. I had some crab apples, they're gonna go into the quince, pop it in a jar. We're gonna make some fancy nectarine one and chop them up as well. So that's it, all of our fruit chopped up into jars, ready to go. This really is so easy to do. And if I had more jars, I'd probably be making more, because how much does vinegar cost you at the supermarket? A nice apple cider vinegar, we might be paying something around $12. This, we can make any flavour we like. We can do it with whatever we want. Like that nectarine that I had there, it was a little bit on the soft side. It wouldn't have been great for eating, but it's perfect for making vinegar. So get all your fruit chopped up and get it into your jars. So, part two, we now need to fill these up and give this fruit a little bit extra to eat, because what is happening when you make a vinegar? It's two parts. Part one is making alcohol and part two is straining out the stuff and it's going to become acidic, turning into vinegar. So it's a two-part process, but to give it a little bit of extra life, 1/3 of a cup of sugar in each of these to jimmy it along is always going to give it a little bit more oomph. So let's get the sugar in and top these off with water. Now we're going to take a chopstick and give it all a little stir, just to get all of that sugar dissolved. And this chopstick here will become your best friend, because each day we need to give it a little stir. So over the next 2 weeks, each morning, give it a little turn around and make sure that that fruit that's sticking out the top maybe goes down to the bottom and some new fruit pops up. Also, if you live somewhere where your tap water has got a lot of chlorine in it, I suggest that when you're making vinegar, you perhaps take a jug out and let that chlorine evaporate overnight. Much like when you're making a sourdough starter, you don't want that chlorine in the water because it is going to inhibit the starter growing. And if you want to know how to do that, make sure you head to my website. I've got a brand new course out called The Reliable Sourdough Method, and I teach you from starter to slice how to make amazing sourdough at home. But that's enough of that. Let's get back to this. What is really great about vinegar is that I live here in New Zealand, so it's apples, quinces, nectarines and pears. But if you live somewhere where it's slightly more tropical, think pineapples, mangoes, and you can even make it with dried fruit. So for experiment's sake, we're going to do a little raisin vinegar also, and then you can really see the difference what happens between the lot. Bearing in mind your dried fruit will have a lot more sugar in it, so we're not going to add any extra sugar to that, and we can just let it do its thing. And all we need to do now is put a little bit of paper towel, I'm just going to use half of one of these, over the tops of the jars with an elastic band to secure. This is to stop any nasties falling in, but your vinegar being completely breathable. And that is everything that you need to do to start your very own vinegar at home. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss out. And now we're gonna put these into the cupboard. They're gonna stay in there for 2 weeks, stirring every day with your chopstick. Then we will strain out the fruit and they'll sit in the cupboard like this without the fruit for another 2 weeks. It's gonna get nice and acidic, and much like when you're doing other fermentations, the flavor will change over time. It will start off not as acidic and it will become more acidic. So you just need to choose at what point you want your vinegar to be at, and then you pop a lid on it and it is done. Okay, we are 1 week in and here is Future Del talking to you. So you have seen from them clips, we've got a little bit of fizz. We had a bit of mold on the nectarine one, but from everything that I've read about making vinegar, it actually doesn't matter too much, because once it has finished doing this fermenting kind of stage where it's getting all the sugars out, it actually starts to turn incredibly acidic. So if there is any bacteria that made its way into the liquid, the vinegar later on down the line should sort it out. Now I can smell it every time I walk into my living room. I can smell it. Oh, the appley one smells like cider. The quince one, same kind of smell. The nectarine one, not so much. And the raisin one, oh, that smells quite nice. That smells a little bit different. We're gonna take the tops off. We're 1 week in, so let's have a look and see what's going on. Like I said, bubbling, beautiful, but we've still got another week like this. So let's see. Oh yeah, well, this is good. There's no mold on the nectarine one again, which is great. The raisin one never had any mold on it anyway, so that's awesome. As you can see, this one's really lifted up. It's really starting to ferment this, which is also why you don't ever really want to fill it to the top, because good chance it will overflow. And then here is the quince. So again, with my chopstick, we're gonna push all these things that are now poking up here, back under, give them a stir, and then the lids go back on, and in another week's time, we're gonna strain out this fruit. Let's have a look, see how fizzy they are. Oh yeah, oh my God, I mean, we can see this one is like really thick actually, but breaking down a lot more. You know, when I added all that stuff in there originally, whoa, it's so fizzy. When I first put that stuff in there originally, very full and quite hard to push down. So actually the nectarine has really broken down quite a lot. Can you hear the fizz? Now we're at the raisin one, so we'll give that stir too. This one, oh, excellent. It's becoming a little bit fizzy, but you know, this one is a bit different because obviously it's a dried fruit, so that sugar is a lot more concentrated, but now we have fizz, so that's great. Here's the apple one. Oh my God, I mean, it's just pushed up so much towards the top. I'm so glad I didn't put any more in there. Equally as fizzy. Oh, smells great though. Smells good. Let's get them ones that are at the top underneath so some new ones can come to the top. But again, that fruit is kind of breaking down and becoming a lot easier to manage. Whoa, it's so fizzy. And then the quince. This one was really fizzy, I think, or maybe it wasn't, I can't remember. But again, we're getting there. This one probably is going to take maybe a little bit longer to draw the sugars out because quince maybe not so sweet. So I don't know whether it's going to work as well, but anyways, there's still fizz because we still put that little bit of sugar in there. So that's it. All them brown ones, try and get all them ones from the bottom now to the top. Oh, it smells good though. These are going to be great. I'm excited to see what these are going to turn out like. As I said, bit of a long process, but that is what learning is all about. Going along and seeing what's happening. So as I do for each and every time before I put the stuff back on, I just wipe the top in case there's any extra liquid there before I put on my other breathable lid, and then off to the cupboard they go. So you now know what it looks like 1 week later, so keep yours going too. We'll check back in 2 weeks time with a new video about what these look like. Don't throw your scraps away, turn them into delicious homemade vinegars. These old-fashioned ways of preserving things or fermenting things or making at home are so important in this modern age. We don't know what the future holds, and if you can make things like this, perhaps grow things in your garden or know the basic skills, you never know, it might help you around the corner at some point when you've got an abundance of fruit and maybe there isn't any vinegar at the supermarket. You laugh now, but if you lived here in New Zealand, you all know the time we couldn't buy butter. So be prepared, as the Girl Guides say. Learn how to make these simple things at home. And if you want any other great tips about using stuff up or cutting down on your kitchen waste, make sure you go check out this playlist or any of my other videos. There's plenty of them there. See you later, everyone. Love you lots. Thanks for tuning in. And if you've ever got any questions, drop them down in the comments. I'll always get back to you. And if you're ever looking for more banging recipes, make sure you head to my website. I'll see you all later. See ya!